Good morning, students. Today we will discuss 19th century Bengal social reforms from chapter 2. And at first we will talk about the activities of Brahma Samaj and its different denominations. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a great social reformer, but at the same time he devoted himself to reform the prevalent religious system. He founded the Brahma Samaj in 1828. His Brahma Samaj played an important role in the social reform movements of the 19th century. It became the center of reformist movement in Bengal. Raja Ram Mohan Roy sincerely believed that without the regeneration of the women folk, the society would not improve at all. During that time, evils like sati, female infanticide, child marriage, parda system, caste divisions, and untouchability were prevalent in the society. The Brahma Samaj criticized these customs and traditions prevalent in the society. After the death of Raja Ram Mohan Roy in 1833, Devendranath Tagore became the leader of the Brahma Samaj. The Brahma Samaj made a lot of progress under the leadership of Devendranath Tagore. Under his leadership, branches of the Samaj were established in different towns. In 1839, he founded the Tattavadini Sabha, which sought to popularize the ideas of Ram Mohan Roy. He became the president of the Friends Social Welfare Society. The society aimed at promoting female education, abolition of child marriage, and polygamy. It also carried on an agitation in favor of widow remarriage. In 1857, Keshav Chandra Sen joined the Brahma Samaj and brought a new vitality to the Samaj. Under his leadership, 54 branches of the Brahma Samaj were set up all over in India. Keshav Chandra Sen organized a volunteer party called Sangat Sabha in 1860 for famine relief. He also strongly believed that without the emancipation of women, the progress in society would not be possible. He was strongly in favor of widow remarriage. He also condemned polygamy and child marriage and emphasized on women education. He was thoroughly convinced that education alone could help women playing a prominent role in life and society. Vijay Krishna Goswami joined the Brahma movement around 1860. Now, there was a clash of opinion between Keshav Chandra and his progressive followers with Devendranath Tagore. Due to this difference, Vijay Krishna followed Keshav Chandra into the newly founded Brahma Samaj of India. Later, Vijay Krishna abandoned Keshav Chandra Sen and joined the newly founded Sadharan Brahma Samaj. By 1889, he completely broke with the Brahmaism and began his career as a spokesman of Vaishnavism taught by Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Now, my students, let's come to our next point, anti-sati movement. Satida was a practice of burning Hindu widows on the funeral pyre of their husbands. Much before the East India Company's government in India took any effective measure to prohibit the sati, the Christian missionaries contributed a lot for the prohibition of the practice in the areas under their jurisdiction. William Carey, the leader of Sri Rampur missionaries, was convinced that the practice of sati was not a compulsory practice applicable to all the Hindu widows. He submitted a memorial to the Governor General Lord Wellesley urging him to prohibit the practice. Mrityunjay Vidyalankar, one of the prominent Hindu Sanskrit scholars, stated that the practice of sati was absolutely voluntary and was by no means compulsory. Raja Ram Mohan Roy launched a strong movement against the practice of sati. He organized a campaign against the practice through signature campaign. He also sent a petition to the British Parliament. He had to face a lot of obstacles created by the orthodox section of Bengali people. Lord William Bentinck, the then Governor General of India, was a reformer by temperament. Armed with support from the Court of Directors, public opinion in England, opinion of a large number of judges and high officials in India, Bentinck finally decided to abolish the practice once for all. Finally, by the Regulation 17 in 1829, the practice of sati was declared illegal and punishable by the criminal courts.